Hi, I'm Geet, and today I want to tell you the story of a girl. She was only 10 years old when she was in a devastating car accident. Before the accident, she was like any other 10-year-old. She could run and jump and bounce around. She was actually very active. She loved sports, she loved dancing, she loved acting. But after the accident, all that was gone. Doctors said that she would never walk again, that she would be confined to a wheelchair. She could no longer feel her legs or move them. She couldn't stand or walk or even move her little toe. Now, if you met this girl before the accident, she was probably one of the happiest little girls you would ever meet. She was one of those little girls who's always chattering, always meeting people, bringing smiles to their faces, making new friends. But after the accident, she would just sit in her room alone and cry all day long because she felt like her life was over. She had so many dreams of what she wanted to do, what she wanted to be. She wanted to be famous, an actress on the big screen. But now her dreams were shattered. She was never going to be able to be anything or do anything. She would be an invalid for the rest of her life. How many of you have a dream, a goal, something you want to achieve in life? And for how many of you is that something somewhat impossible? Maybe not to you, but it seems pretty impossible to those around you. I mean, like you want to be a professional sports player or a rock star or a world-renowned artist or filthy rich or maybe just plain famous. I just want to say one thing to you today. Stop dreaming. No, I'm not trying to demotivate you. Hear me out. Stop dreaming and start doing. Let me ask you another question. What exactly are you doing to make your dream a reality? Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows that it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. And every morning, a lion wakes up and it knows that it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. So, whether you're a lion or a gazelle, the moment the sun comes up, you better be running. In other words, if you want to achieve something, you have to work hard for it. We've all heard the saying, good things happen to those who wait. But I found through experience that although patience is a virtue, good things happen to those who work hard to make them happen. Yes, there's a time to wait, but that's after you've already done everything in your power to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. For example, if you want a job, you need to look through the job listings, you need to prepare a resume, you need to apply for jobs, you need to research companies, you need to go for the interview, you need to give it your best. And yes, then you can rest, then you can wait. So now going back to this little girl who was in a car accident and she couldn't walk anymore. So she grew up and she always topped her class. She ended up actually winning some beauty pageants, even though she was in a wheelchair. She was actually the first person in the world in a wheelchair to win pageants where the other girls are not in a wheelchair. She went on to college. She got a degree in electrical engineering, and then she went on and got a Juris Doctorate in law. She worked for one of the leading law firms in the US, making lots of money. But then she gave all that up to move to India to work with slum children and at-risk youth. She started a small NGO where she went directly into the slums and she changed the lives of hundreds of kids, helping them to make their dreams a reality. And then one day, as she was doing this, she remembered that she had a dream of her own. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to be an actress on the big screen. And so she did nothing. She actually just waited. I guess she was just waiting that maybe someone will spot her on the street and say, I want you to be in my next movie. Needless to say, that didn't happen. So finally, she gathered the courage and she tried out for a reality show. an acting reality show, India's Best Cinestars Ki Khoj. And out of thousands and thousands of people from around the nation that tried out for this show, she ended up making it to the top 75. But then she was disqualified in the dance round because she was in a wheelchair and she couldn't dance. But she didn't give up. She ended up starting a Facebook page. And she told people, I want to be an actress. Now, she didn't have any acting pieces to actually post on this Facebook page. So she started posting motivational videos and quotes because that's what she did in the slums. She motivated kids. And so she started posting videos. And within 6 months, she had 1.5 million followers supporting her dream. Now, half of her dream of becoming famous was starting to come true, but the part about being an actress was still a dream. She had no offers. And how could she have any offers? She hadn't put any videos of her acting. She hadn't shown anyone her talent. So that reminds me of actually a story I once read. It was about a guy who wanted to win the lottery. So one day he goes to church and he prays, God, give me a break. Let me win the lottery. Now, a week later, he goes back to church and he says, God, you know what? I've been so good this week. I've not fought with my wife. I've given up drinking. I've been kind to everyone around me. Give me a break. Let me win the lottery. 2 weeks later, not any richer. He goes back to church again and he prays, God, I don't think you are understanding what I'm saying. God, I am using positive affirmations. I'm using manifestation. I am feeling that money in my hands. God, give me a break. Let me win the lottery. Suddenly, all heavens opened up. There was a bright light and a loud voice that came from heaven that said, my son, give me a break and buy a lottery ticket. So, this little girl from our story who was in the wheelchair and she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be an actress. So she had 1.5 million followers. Within 2 months, she had 2 million followers. She was starting to be famous, but she still didn't have any offers of acting. Have you ever heard the saying that if all the doors are shut, stop banging on that door because maybe what's behind that door isn't meant for you? Well, I don't agree with that. I think that if you want what's behind that door bad enough, you will build your own door. And that's what this girl did. She decided that if she wasn't going to get any movie offers, no one was going to offer her a chance to act, she was going to make her own opportunity. She didn't have millions of dollars, so she couldn't make a feature-length film, but she did have a camera and she knew how to edit videos. So she gathered a bunch of family and friends and strangers, none of whom had any acting background. She took her mom, who'd never used a video camera before, taught her how to use a video camera. She wrote some simple scripts, and they started to make short films, motivational short films. And to be honest, at first, these films were pretty bad. They all overacted. There was a lot of noise in the background. The video quality wasn't very good. They were struggling for views. But with each video, they improved because they took feedback from the audience, from everyone they met, everyone they knew. They would take feedback and they would improve their films. And within a few months, they had their first viral video. It got to millions of views in just a matter of days. If you are willing to work hard and you're willing to do whatever it takes to make your dream a reality, good things will start happening. So 2 years after she posted her first video, she had made 50 motivational short films. She had over 5 million followers on Facebook, and she had over 100 million views on her videos because several of her videos had gone viral all over the world. And now 6 years from when she first started her Facebook page, she has 25 million followers across all social media platforms. She's working on her first web series, which will be released soon. Good things happen to those who work hard for them. And as you probably already guessed, that girl is me. I am living my dream not because I waited for someone to come and hand it to me on a platter, for someone to make it happen, but because I went out there and I worked hard and I made it happen. I know a lot of you probably know me as a motivational speaker because on social media, I post a lot of motivational videos. And as a motivational speaker, I do travel a lot and I meet a lot of people. And so I often ask them, what is your dream in life? And why aren't you there yet? And as I've been talking to people, I've realized that there's 6 main reasons that people are not able to achieve their dreams. The first reason is that they don't even try because they think it's impossible, it can't happen. The second reason is that they tried once and they failed, or maybe they tried several times and they failed, and now they've given up. The third reason is that those around them have told them that they're not good enough, and they've believed those people and they have gotten demotivated. And the fourth reason is that they're actually just waiting for someone else to come and make their dream a reality. But miracles rarely fall from the sky. The fifth reason is that people don't achieve their dreams because they're just lazy. They're not willing to work hard to make their dreams a reality. And the sixth reason is that they're waiting for the right time to start, and that right time never happens. So I want you to take a second and think about yourself and your dream and what's holding you back. Which one of these categories do you fit into? Today, I want to introduce you to 6 people, and I want you to pay really close attention to these stories because these 6 people are people like you and me who went out there and had these different issues in their lives that were holding them back from their dreams, but they did not wait for good things to happen. They made them happen. And now they're living their dreams. So I want you to really pay attention so that next time you start feeling demotivated or you feel like your dream can't become a reality, you'll remember one of these 6 stories and you'll be motivated and know that if you work hard, your dream can become a reality. So the first person I want to introduce you to is Naga Naresh Karturtura. He is the son of a truck driver and a housewife. He had a dream of bringing his family out of their circumstances by getting a good education and getting a good job. But at a very young age, he was in a terrible accident and both his legs had to be amputated. Now, at that point, his dream became impossible. I mean, it was impossible for him to continue his education, but his family didn't give up. He didn't give up. And today he is an IIT graduate who works for Google. Even the word impossible says, I am possible. The next person I want to introduce you to is Baby Halder. She was only 12 years old. She was a child bride who was married off to someone 14 years her senior. She was abused for years until she finally ran away with her 3 children. And she started working as domestic help in several homes. One of her bosses, her employers, was a writer, and he encouraged her to write her story. Now, she had not written since she was 12 years old. She didn't know how to make proper sentence structure. She had a lot of grammatical and spelling errors, but she wrote her manuscript, and then they started taking it to different publishing houses to get it published, and each publishing house rejected the manuscript. They said it wasn't good enough. But finally, a small publishing house in Kolkata published the manuscript, and on the first day her book sold out. Later, someone translated it to English and it became a New York Times bestseller. Remember, failure isn't final until you stop trying. The next person I want to introduce you to is Falguni Nair. You might have heard of her, but she was almost 50 years old. She was an investment banker who decided that she wanted to give that up to start an online makeup business. She didn't have any knowledge on online makeup, but she wanted to do this. Everyone around her said that she was crazy. She was going through a midlife crisis. She would never be able to do this, but she proved the naysayers wrong. And today she has become India's wealthiest self-made female billionaire. She is the founder of Nykaa. Use the outside negative voices to motivate you to prove them wrong. The next person I want to introduce you to is Alagaratnam Natarajan. He was 70 years old and living in London, and he had a dream of coming to India and making a difference for people. So he moved to India, and when he was here, he realized that in the summer months, needy people did not have access to cool water. And so he could have waited for the government or NGOs to provide that water, but he didn't wait. He took it into his own hands, and he started putting matkas, earthen clay pots, all around South Delhi. And he started filling them with water whenever they would be empty. And now he has put 70 matkas all around Delhi, and he fills them with water whenever they're empty. And he's been able to help so many people in the scorching heat. Don't wait for someone else to make your dream a reality. Go and do it yourself. The next person I want to introduce you to is Deepika Mhatre. She sells imitation jewelry in local trains. She works as domestic help for 5 homes, but as a child, she dreamt of being a stand-up comedian. Of course, her circumstances didn't allow her to do that, but one of her employers set up a talent show for Women's Day. Deepika jumped at the chance. She did a stand-up comedy routine. Her videos went viral. And today she is a sought-after stand-up comedian. When asked the secret to her success, she said it was hard work. There's no room for laziness if you want to succeed. And the last person I want to introduce you to today is Pooja Mishra. Pooja Mishra is an IIM graduate who dreamed of providing an education to the children of her village. Now, most people would say the right time to do charity work is after you have established yourself, when you're older in life. But Pooja decided that she was going to opt out of campus placements. Instead, she took the little bit of savings she had and she started a small school in her village with 23 students. And now there are 1,000 students in that school. If you keep waiting for the perfect time or the perfect circumstances, it might never happen. The perfect time is now. You may not have heard of many of these people because they're ordinary people like you and me. The difference is that they didn't wait for someone else to make their dreams a reality. They worked hard to make their own dreams a reality. They worked hard to make good things happen to them. So today, I just want to encourage you, whatever your dream is, it is not impossible. You just have to be willing to work hard and keep working hard until you're able to achieve it. Because the truth is, it is your dream. And it's up to you to make that dream a reality. Because no one's going to hand you something on a platter. Good things may or may not happen to those who wait for it, but they definitely do happen to those who work hard. So stop dreaming and start doing. Thank you.